Okay, let's start with the presentation of the third event session of the STARTS Residencies program. And thank you for attending this session. This will be the last session of this month. We'll have another one in June for answers for doubts. And if you have any question, of course, you can send us an email and we will be happy to help you and to clarify any question or doubt that you have. Okay? So my name is Patricia Vieira and I'm a project manager from Inova Mais, a consultancy company of Portugal. And I'm here to present you this third info session. Today, we will present you the challenges 1 to 4 and number 10, and each host institution. So the first one is about modeling the mind. The second, exploring human AI relationships. The third one, exploring the physics of life. The fourth, European space policy in the age of sustainability. And the last one, reconnecting to the territory. All the information that will be shared here is also available on the challenges catalog, and this document is available on our website. So if you have any questions, you can send us an email about each of challenge. But if you want, you will have time at the end of this session to ask directly to each host institution and representative. So I will pass the floor for Toot. So Christine, if you want to go ahead, you can.
Yeah, thank you very much. So welcome from my side from Dresden. My name is Kirsten Vinzenz. I'm the director of the Office for Academic Heritage, Scientific and Art Collections. And we are part, of course, of the Technical University. And we have been hosting artist residencies for quite a while now. And we're also in charge of our heritage, so our academic collections, which we have a lot of them, which I will tell a little bit more later. So our university is already founded in 1828, so we have a lot of things that we can take care of here. Mostly, of course, right now, it's a very, very technology-based university with many interesting people working on the challenges of life, you could say, on quantum materials, microelectronics. There has been a big research consortium about artificial intelligence, tactile internet. So there are many things, and Matthew will go through the things where you actually connect with the scientists here at our university. You will also have the chance to, if you want to, connect to our collections and sort of work with both things. So actual science and our collections are sometimes very interesting to work together with, to see how sort of things have been done in the past and then to relate it to everything that has been or is been doing now in the scientific field at our university. We also do exhibitions, of course. We host residencies which have then their own catalog and, of course, their own exhibition space. And so there has been already, a lot of experience in this field, and we're really happy that we're now part of the STARTS ECHO program. This is probably it, what I would like to say for the institutions, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kristen. So let's present SPE, and we will have here Howard to talk about this host institution.
Hi, I'm Aoife van Lindenthal. I'm Global Fellow at the European Space Policy Institute, or SP as we say. I'm really delighted to share this challenge number 4 with you. SP is an independent European think tank based in Vienna, Austria. We assess and advise on space policy across Europe, European nations, space agencies, the UN, including UNOSA and COPUS, the European Union, and across space industry, as well as other industries that benefit from space-based technologies and applications such as transport, data, and energy. SP promotes European space policy globally. And what I mean by that is that space exploration is a global effort, and there is a need to collaborate and work efficiently, particularly based on the amount of resource that it takes to do space exploration. Space is also a diplomatic tool, and for these reasons, we work closely with all spacefaring nations, including those outside Europe, such as NASA, JAXA, and others. Our activities include research, which is the majority of our work. This lays the foundation for the substantiated proposals and recommendations that we make. One of our activities is engagement, which is a smaller but more important part of our work. We provide a forum for discussion and beyond the space community in Europe and globally among varied stakeholders. Education is a growing area for us. We're championing the education of young talent in developing technologies and space capabilities for benefits to wider economy and society. And this residency can really touch on all three of these areas. I particularly highlight research because it's the major area for this residency. Our 5 research themes are green and sustainable societies, security and defense, exploration and science, industry, innovation, finance and workforce, and space as an asset. And I highlight green and sustainable societies and space as an asset in particular in the context of this residency. Some of our relevant projects include the Center of Excellence for Space and Sustainability, which aims to develop interdisciplinary expertise and know-how on the role of space to support sustainable development on Earth. And we also have the Vienna Space Diplomat, which is an engagement framework for the space diplomatic community in Vienna to shape international space affairs and develop the role of space in a wider societal and economic context. And we're really inviting the artist in to take part in all of these things. Thank you.
Thank you, Eva. Thank you, it was perfect. So let's talk about French Tech, and we'll have here Mathilde to explain a little bit about. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Mathilde Guillozy. So I'm working for French Tech Grande Provence in France, and I will introduce the French Tech Grande Provence and the Villa Creative Institution in Avignon University. We are 2 different institutions, but we will be working together to co-hosting the challenge number 10 in the STARTS Residency. So the French Tech Grande Provence is a non-profit organization. We are founded in 2013. We are one of the 115 French tech associations through the world, and we have 3 main missions: to support and accompany the development of innovative startups, to lead and unite the ecosystem around businesses, and to disseminate innovation with a particular focus on the ecological transition. We support startups and innovative business in their project from the ID stage right through the internalization. It brings together an ecosystem of investors, local authorities, and partners. And thanks to our extensive knowledge of our business ecosystem, we work to put entrepreneurs in touch with a variety of contacts in order to respond to common needs and develop professional collaboration. We also sometimes organize events to promote innovation in response to societal and environmental challenge. Since 2021, we also have created our own incubation program. He's entirely dedicated to entrepreneurs and company founders. And the aims of this training program is to create innovative businesses with high potential and led by managers committed to a sustainable vision. For the Villa Creative side, Villa Creative was born from the desire to open the university to the city and to make university outside of the university. It proposed to cross audience with inviting them to seize scientific, educational, and artist space in a heritage place in the heart of Avignon, and to interact, create, and produce new knowledge. Villa Creative is a new tool for a learning society based on university mission, interdisciplinary, and arts. It's centered on open science and participatory research. It allows awareness-raising action, training, experimentation, and meeting times. Within Villa Creative, there are scholars, students, entrepreneurs, creators in the field of culture and creative industries, but also decision makers, elected officials, and the general public. So Villa Creative is a part of a very rich network of partnership, both nationally and internationally, with universities, schools, businesses, and institutions. And I just want to say a few words that that's the first time we have the pleasure to host an artist and innovation residency here in Avignon in south of France. And we are really, really glad and exciting to hosting you and to have this adventure together.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if Marie-Pierre, do you want to say some words about Avignon University or your excitement?
Okay, you mentioned it very well. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start with the presentation of each challenge, and we will have Matthew to explain the challenges from TU Dresden.
Okay, thank you. So TU Dresden has selected 3 different challenges. We're hosting 3 different residencies. And we selected 3 areas that kind of reflect some of the core strengths of the university, or reflect some of the bigger research projects that are currently ongoing or have been going for some time or about to start. And the first one is to do with cognitive science and cognitive psychology, and the effort to build models of the mind, the models of human behavior and human perception and human experience. And there's a particular focus that we're building now. It's called behavior in context, and it's trying to understand how our environments influence our behavior. And influence not only decision-making, thoughts, but also our actions and our feelings and our perceptions. Now, in order to do this, we have different methodologies, and some of the experts that I've cited here, they come from different fields. So we have, for example, Professor Scherbaum, who works in cognitive psychology and tries to build computational models of decision-making that relate to environments. Or we have Professor Kiebel, who works in computational neuroscience and works more on a neuronal level, working with scans. Similarly with Professor Kanska, who works in behavioral neuroscience, but really works in psychopathology, looking at the at different, let's say, illnesses or disorders that might arise from things. So what you've got here is a range of science, from cognitive psychology to brain scanning, brain modeling, and building computational models. In particular, however, we're quite interested in working with artists with a particular methodology, which is to build immersive simulations and then explore how different kind of immersive simulations might affect behavior or experience. And that's where I fit in. I have a lab that builds virtual reality simulations. We have lots of infrastructure for building quite large scale or very realistic simulations and simulating all kinds of things. So we could anticipate an artist collaborating in building, let's say, exploring the kinds of ways you might build these artificial environments and then observe different behaviors. Patricia, how is that for time? Is that I should move right to the next one? Okay. Now, just in terms of our experts, so we're a big university and we have lots of researchers working on these different fields. We've selected here as examples people who we think kind of reflect the work that we're describing, and also would be very interested to work with artists. All of them expressed an interest. But were you to arrive at TU Dresden, you would essentially have a whole university at your disposal. and you would be free to make contacts and connections with anyone within the university. But if you look the work of these people up, you'll get an idea of the kinds of things we're talking about. Okay, so we can move on to the second challenge. So another big research focus is, of course, artificial intelligence. And in here, we put a focus on exploring the kinds of relationships that might be possible between humans and artificially intelligent systems. And some of the research questions we're interested in here is, I'll bring back up my notes. What kinds of relationships are possible with non-human intelligent systems? Okay? What kinds of relationships will be possible with these non-human intelligent systems? And is it possible to have intersubjectivity? And intersubjectivity being the term for, seeing something else as a mind, as an intelligence, as something with its own will or sentience even. Is it possible to have this without anthropomorphizing this thing, right? Is it necessary that we can only see in these things the human-like qualities? Will we be able to have relationships with things which are utterly non-human and yet are still intelligent? So here we would be looking for artists to explore these kinds of questions. We have researchers, if we go to the next slide, please. Some of the experts we have Professor Calandra, who works with humanoid robots, and he's an expert in machine learning, reinforcement learning, and also in the giving robots a sense of touch. This is his field. Professor Kata works with artificial intelligence systems and their application in medicine, and he's an expert in particular with large language models and how they can be applied to different scientific problems. And then Dr. Leutsch and Hommel are both using intelligent agents and trying to use them to create things like artificial teachers, artificial mentors, artificial coaches, and so are experts in the creation of agents that we have relationships with. And Dr. Vardati is an expert in machine learning also, but in trying to replicate certain human-like approaches to epistemology in machines. And these are some examples of our experts in this field. I put myself there. I'm not an AI researcher, but I would be supportive in this field in the sense of we could use our simulation technology to create virtual embodiments for agents, and explore the virtual representations of AI systems. Okay, we'll move on. The third subject, there we have a very large cluster of excellence here for uniting a lot of researchers working on scientific modeling of biological systems. And the research cluster is called the physics of life. And it's called the physics of life because the attempt is to try and build mathematical or physical models of the basic building blocks of living things. So on a cellular level or subcellular level, like this. And in doing so, it combines a very large range of science, from microscopy to scanning to simulation, and biology all get combined together. And we have a range of experts working on different aspects. We can bring up a few of the examples of our experts. On the next slide. Thank you. Professor Campos, for example, specializes in the physics of embryonic self-organization. So how do embryos form? How do they self-organize? And his research focuses on understanding the physical mechanisms guiding the formation of biological structures. Professor Ebisuya studies the biophysical parameters controlling morphogenesis in different species. Whereas Dr. Matthias studies the biophysical modes of cellular communication, how electrical signals and chemical signals and mechanical forces all work together to communicate across the cell. And then, so these are some three researchers in the physics of life cluster. And then I've added two more who work also on building very complex. They study how to build models of complex emergent systems. Professor Brockman is an expert in emergent complexity and builds systems that scale from cells up to things like the spread of the COVID virus in society. And Professor Svalzarini works also on computational simulations of biological systems. So these would be some of the experts that you could work with. And here we would be particularly interested in artists who can take these underlying rich models and these methods and these computational models, and also they use a lot of supercomputing here, so a big supercomputer, and use some of these resources and explore them in an artistic fashion. Right. Okay. I think
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Matthew. So we will go through the next challenge with Hifa, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so this challenge is the first of its kind art residency in this field of space policy. There has been a growth in art science and art space activities over the years, as we know, but never has there been an opportunity for the artist to work in the field of space policy. And I can speak for myself and on behalf of other artists who I have met who have engaged in this space arena, and questions around regulation and policy inevitably become of very deep interest to any artist, no matter which discipline of the arts or practice they've been working on. And here we not only invite the artist to make art inspired or related to this subject, but also to contribute to the field, which brings me to the goals and the expected results. So the goal is to really facilitate independent critical thought and artistic expression, exploring the interplay between policy and society in the context of advancements in European space exploration relating to bio and life sciences and medical technology. So this could be anything from medicines or space architecture. There's a huge field here to explore, and we will open that up. If you already have an interest in a particular field, you can propose a project based on that, or your project can be broader and more exploratory in the beginning. The results we're expecting is really the development of an inspirational and thought-provoking body of work. That work will contribute to dialogues in the space community, policy-making circles, and broader society, fostering discussions on technology, society, and sustainability. So really, we're looking for a body of research that informs your creative practice and hopefully will provide some space policy with some new perspectives as well. Some an exhibitable artwork or artworks, really broad depending on your practice. We have opportunities for engagement activities such as workshops, and there'll be opportunities to present your work to SP and other space events with the highest level of space decision makers. So it's really to your own art practice and then ours as well. Micha, do you have anything else to add to this?
Yeah, maybe not much. Just just to highlight that it's really unique opportunity for space art in the policy context, really re-questioning the underlying contributors to understanding outer space. What do we do there? And how outer space activities also influence our societies here on the Earth. So it's really open. open opportunity for research, and really great opportunity to get access to the policymakers, to researchers, to scientists, to institutions in outer space context in Europe. That could be it from me.
Thank you, Micha. Okay, we can move to the experts. Experts, we have Ludwig Müller, who's the director at SP. He's an expert and visionary in the space industry. He has close to 30 years at ESA, head of strategy at Telecoms and Integrated Applications Directorate. He was also head of institutional and European Programs Office. He'll be providing big picture guidance, mentorship, knowledge, insights, and inspiration. He's very enthusiastic. I don't think there's another director out there who would let this artistic residence happen in a space policy organization. So yeah, very groundbreaking. And there's myself. I'm an SP Global Fellow working on creative impact. My role is to harness creativity and culture to increase the impact of SP's policy work. I'm an artist and previous artist in residence at the European Space Agency, so I have that experience to share and help guide it with the guidance. I'll be the residency coordinator and facilitator and the main point of contact for the artists in regard to the overall residency matters at SP. There's Mattia Rentje, is the SP research manager. He's an experienced legal advisor, policy analyst, and project manager. He previously worked as a research fellow at SP, ESA, and the European Commission, and he has experience in aviation, commodities, and corporate law sectors. He'll be providing guidance regarding specialist space policy matters and the main point of contact at the Space SP office. There's Micha Turcik. Do you want to introduce yourself, or shall I do that, Micha?
Go ahead, go ahead.
So Micha Turcik is from the VAG Future Lab. He is the Space Lab lead and concept and project developer specializing in collaborative research and innovation. He's an artist, designer, and researcher dedicated to developing arts and humanities in outer space. And he's the co-founder of the Cultural Center for European Space Technologies. His role is an independent art mentor for space-related art, science, technology research. So this is just us, the core kind of group that will take care of the artist, but there is a huge resource of experts across the field of space policy and also sustainability. That doesn't just include SP, it also includes their members, which includes many European space agencies, including ESA and many others. So we have strong contacts and would like to invite you for visits at those places. So we're really super excited to invite the artists to SP and looking forward to hosting this experience.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a very exciting journey here. So let's go to the last challenge from French Tech. And Mathilde and Marie-Pierre, if you want, you can go ahead.
Yeah, hello, my name is Marie-Pierre Bonetti. I'm a project manager at Villa Creative, and I'm delighted to present you our challenge, which is named Reconnected to the Territory. So a few more words of Villa Creative, which hosts structures belonging to the ecosystem of the axis of Avignon University, which is culture, heritage, and digital societies. The 6 founding members are French Tech Grande Provence, l'École des Nouvelles Images, le Conservatoire des Arts et Métiers, le Festival d'Avignon, et le Frames Web Video Festival. They are permanent residents of the Villa Creative. They contribute to the ecosystem in several areas: training, research, entrepreneurship, and creation. Villa Creative is an exceptional setting, as you can see. It's a public space open to the city, which hosts which will host exhibition, research, artistic residency. It possesses a prestigious auditorium, a recording studio, as well as offices, classroom for young professionals of the animation sector, and even a brasserie restaurant widely open to the public. The site is in the historic center, sheltered from the medieval fortified wall. It's at a 10-minute walk from the Palais des Papes, and is located in a building of the 19th century, which rehabilitation is carried out by the architect Alfonso Femia, winner of the MyPIM Award recently. This restoration concerns both buildings and the gardens, 3,000 square meters of gardens, open to all, which offer a vegetal breathing in the urbanization of Avignon Historical Center. These gardens are now a calm, welcoming, harmonious and friendly space, a place of transition, mutualization and meeting. They accompany the rhythm of Villa Creative. Each year, the Festival d'Avignon will take place in the garden and will be open to the city and the world, and invite all audiences to meet and dialogue. Second slide, please. Thank you. What we expect from the STARTS Residency is to create intimate spaces in this garden and help them to become a place of refuge and hospitalities. We expect a great implication of the academic community, experts, and citizen participation to enrich the creative process. For us, the creation will have to contribute to the garden becoming a place of culture and an artistic refuge. It must be a part of a poetic and practical approach that invites us to rethink our relationship with space, art, and nature. The creation has to be a place of hospitality, vulnerability, and silence. And it should be able to host intimate concert formats, exhibition, readings, conversation with artists. We look for a frugal approach, a use of local materials from circular economy of reuse, and maybe a design of a new framework for exhibition or mediation. The design of the space has to take into account the natural and heritage environment. And of course, we will pay great attention to the choice of materials that has to blend into the gardens. Mathilde, you can say a few words for
Yes.
the...
So I just take the floor to say a few words about why you should apply to this challenge, what type of benefits we offer. So first, the place Avignon is an excellent city of culture where science, arts, and techniques from all over Europe meets till the Middle Age. We are a medieval city with a lot of culture and heritage culture. Villa Creative is a unique place with an ecosystem of more than 60 partners gathered, a place with a low contact with university research, laboratories, students, and all sorts of public. So to give you an idea about the wide audience, we are waiting for 500 people per day in the low season and 1,000 people per day in the high season. And just a few sentences about the experts. Villa Creative and French Tech Grande Provence are both giving you the expert and the ecosystem we have. So Villa Creative will give you the opportunity to collaborate with experts as a scholar specialist of deep learning applied to speech and languages, museology, public mediation, and digital, who can be a resource, so they can have a laboratory and technological material. And French Tech Grande Provence is also putting the chance to work with experts from a competitive business cluster, sorry, that's a hard word, in the field of AI and IoT, a specialist in upcycling industries, and director of digital experimentation laboratories. Thanks for your listening.
Thank you, Mathilde and Marie-Pierre. So I had some notes on the chat for you. We don't, unfortunately, we don't have time to answer questions, but if you want, you can put your doubts on the chat or send by email to startseco@starts.au, and we will be happy to answer you. I will put the link for a brief feedback form on the chat, and then I will send this information by email. This info session was recorded and will be shared on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you have any question about these challenges, do not hesitate to contact us. And all the information is also available on our challenges catalog, as I said before, on our website. And I think it's all from our side. I hope that this info session was good enough for you and very clarifying your doubts. So have a nice day, and we hope to have your or we hope to receive your application to the STARTS residency program. Have a nice day. Bye.